Hi, today I'm going to do a Japanese makeup look. I'm also going to show you my Japanese haul, all the things I bought the last two times I've visited, so late last year and last week. And I've got lots of really exciting products to show you. I also wanted to say that I know I've been a bit quiet on my blog and also posting videos. Like the last 6 months I haven't probably posted as regular as I used to, but that's all about to change because I've now finished my book. I hadn't told anyone I was working on a book, but it's been 2.5 years of research, and actually longer than that for the research, but a good 2.5 years of work, and in the last year it's been very intense. It's a book on the history of makeup and I'm really excited about it. I can hardly believe the process is coming to an end. I just received today actually the cover proofs. So I finally got to see how my cover looks when it's all mocked up. And if you are subscribed to my mailing list, I'm actually going to share that with you exclusively this Sunday. So if you're not, I'll put a link, and do subscribe because I really wanted to share it with my loyal viewers before anyone else has seen it, anyone else in the world. It's not on Amazon, it's nowhere. So I literally just saw it myself today. So do subscribe and let me know actually what you think of it when you get the mailing list, and if you want to share it, put the hashtag of the name of the book. I'll explain in the mailing list so I can see what you guys all think. I'm obviously really nervous but really excited as well. So my blog is going to be, I'm going to have time now really to film a lot more and to post a lot more, so I'm happy about that. So on to my Japanese makeup look. Now I've been visiting Japan on and off for about the last 13 years, a lot. Initially when I was creative director at Shiseido, and again more recently with Lancôme, and I've been able to kind of see the transition slightly in the trends and the makeup looks. So before I share with you some of the differences I've noticed over the last 10 years in the Japanese makeup look, I'm going to start doing my foundation. I'm going to use Albion Gel Foundation, Gel Mask. This is one I bought at the end of last year. And this is a very full coverage foundation. I'm going to thin it out a bit, but it gives you that really kind of incredibly flawless look. So you can thin it out a bit, but if you build it up, you really do get a fully made up look. And one of the things I think I noticed, I remember being there a lot kind of 10 years ago with Shiseido, and the look was quite a matte look. It was very full coverage on the foundation and very kind of, you know, that really kind of pale skin, but it was definitely more of a matte look. This time I noticed in the last year really more luminosity, possibly inspired by a lot of the Korean trends and the Korean makeup brands that you see in Japan now. But I definitely noticed, I'm talking about like the average woman on the street had more of a kind of, you know, more of a luminous look to their foundation. There's still that kind of flawless thing happening and that very kind of even toned, but definitely not as shiny or as the Gwan look in Korea, but more luminosity than I noticed 10 years ago. So I'm just going to see, if you put this on just with a flat brush, you really get that kind of amazing, almost like hyper real fake skin, like really perfected. So you can see that's given me like quite a mask like effect, but it's kind of amazing the texture of this foundation, and it is a department store, quite expensive brand. A lot of the products, by the way, I'm going to use today are drugstore, but I did think this was quite unique in that it sort of looks quite natural, even though it's full coverage. I love that kind of sheeny effect it has, that sort of hyper real skin effect, and I hadn't seen anything like it in European brands, so I absolutely bought it, and I've used this on myself quite a lot. It has got a high SPF, so it's not a good one for photographs, but it certainly looks quite amazing. So the concealer I'm going to use today is the Clé de Peau one. This is considered the absolute gold star of concealers in Japan. This is a really nice creamy, but again quite full coverage concealer. You don't need to use a lot. It doesn't look in any way drying, even when you do use quite a bit, which is what's so nice about it. They also have a very nice foundation as well, Clé de Peau. And then I don't think I need to do that much concealing because the Albion foundation more or less covered all my lumps and bumps, and I have got quite a few spots at the moment. Maybe just there. Yeah, it has pretty much taken everything out. Now it is quite a shiny effect foundation, which isn't this, to look this shiny isn't really fashionable in Japan, but it is aimed at a more dry skin, and this foundation is very, very hydrating and moisturizing. So I'm going to use some powder and take off a lot of this excess shine. I think particularly if you've got a combination skin like mine, this foundation is a little bit too shiny. So that's the flawless base that's absolutely the thing in Japan. Not too shiny, but just very, very perfected, and you can't see any kind of blemishes or anything. It's very kind of perfect. So in general, the look is quite girly. You know, the word kawaii is such a big word. It's used all the time in Japan about everything. Your phone is kawaii, your bag is kawaii, you are kawaii, your hair's kawaii. It just means cute. And girls love to use that word a lot. In fact, when I did a press conference and I walked off the stage and I walked past some girls and they were kawaii, and I felt very pleased because I've been described as cute. And that is a big compliment in Japan. So like this very girly look, and it's been really that since about the 80s. It's all based on this Gyaru look, which was the name of a pair of a jeans brand actually in the 70s. And there's lots of different subcultures within that. There's you may have seen lots of the girls that do this almost kind of Barbie look, which is Ganguro, which is this really tanned look they do, like a Western look with kind of blonde hair. They look a bit like sort of Jersey Shore girls, like this kind of big blonde kind of blowed out hair and really orange kind of tans. So yeah, so there's lots of subcultures, there's lots of different looks. Obviously there's age appropriate looks, but at the end of the day they like quite a girly makeup look in general. So not to generalize too much, but this is what I'm kind of seeing. So I'm going to start by using this eye palette. Most of what I'm using now is from the drugstores, so good prices. And the eyeshadow look tends to be quite light. I mean, obviously there are, as I say, there's like there's a, you know, every look has a kind of more extreme version. Particularly, like I said, the Ganguro girls do like basically white eyeshadow, pure white. But this is a more kind of everyday look that you see. So quite a light, shimmery eyeshadow is popular. And then really defining kind of around the outer edge. And you don't really see a winged look. It's all about big eyes. You know, if you think of anime characters and you think of the photo booths, you know, those photo booths in Tokyo where you go in and you have your picture taken very cute and then you make your eyes look huge. It's really trying to achieve that look with makeup. So it's more about bringing them round and down. So it's not kind of winging out and making the eyes very high. It's really about kind of almost pulling those outer edges round. So now I'm going to use the darker shade from the palette. It's this Vissé, I don't know how to pronounce it. It might be Vissé palette. You can see everything is hearts and bows and cute, 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 kawaii, kawaii, kawaii. But it's really nice texture actually. So I'm just going to go along the lower lash line, but it's only at the outer edge. So again, it's about making that roundness. In fact, I've gone too heavy on this side here. So I'm just going to take that off and buff a little bit. So by kind of taking down those outer corners, I'm really thinking about coming down here and round. Really round, big, wide, round shape. And then just blend. So on to eyeliner. And one of my favourite things to buy in Japan are the drugstore eyeliners, particularly this one Day Tattoo, the 24-hour, super long lasting, real lasting, it's called actually, eye pencil. And this is in the dense black. This pencil is amazing. It goes on really kind of dense, almost, it looks a little bit like you've used a liquid. You just build the colour up. It really doesn't come off at all. I mean, you can do wings with it, you can do waterline with it, and it really, really stays on. Now the look is kind of just quite a thin line. It's not the kind of thick line, and it doesn't really wing out that much. I mean, obviously there's all different looks, but I'm kind of generalising a bit, but the majority of girls will do more of a thinnish line along. So there are degrees of this Gyaru look. Obviously there's the very natural kind of version of it, and lots of the girls just have the wash of very shimmery light eyeshadow, and then the liner, and then the lashes. But then there is this more kind of shaded and bigger version. So there are really degrees of all of these looks. And Gyaru actually just means gal, like girl. So next I'm going to curl my eyelashes using the Shuemura eyelash curlers. Great Japanese invention. The Shuemura ones, I mean, not eyelash curlers. And you can see that eyeliner doesn't budge. Now lots of pencils come off when you do this, but this one does not move at all, even if you're right down to the roots. Eyeliners, mascaras and false lashes are the things to buy when you visit Japan, because Japanese girls like to make their lashes look longer and fuller and thicker, make their eyes look bigger. So all the quality of the eye products is just fantastic, and the price is very low. So I'm going to use for my mascara today Dolly Wink mascara, which is a very good Japanese brand, and they do mascaras for everything, lengthening, curling, I mean, you name it, they've got it. This one is the lengthening one, so you can see how good the payoff is here. Don't need to put much of that on. A couple of strokes and my lashes are kind of enormous. And underneath. And when you walk into the drugstores, they're just crammed with stuff, and lots of the shelves have kind of discount cards on, and they have videos playing on the shelves. It's just pink, everything's pink, there's bows everywhere, there's glitter, there's kind of music coming from the videos. It's brilliant, it's chaos. So the false eyelashes in Japan are amazing. They have every different style, very different from what you can buy here in Europe and in the UK and even in America. I mean, they've got from really, really natural looking ones that you can hardly see. Most girls wear them kind of daily, but you wouldn't even notice because they're so fine, and often they do like brown mixed with black hair that is just so subtle and beautiful, right through to the crazy kind of full on like mad lashes. Each company will have like 200 different styles, so when you go in and you see them all displayed in the drugstore, you'll see like 1,000 sets, and they're cheap, much cheaper than they are here. So I'm going to apply these Dolly Wink ones. There are lots of different brands, and they're all really, really good, by the way, all the drugstore brands. These ones are called Girly and Cute or something lashes, which a lot of the lashes are called, to be honest. These are number 2, and they're very thick in the centre. So having that kind of the thickness in the centre gives you that round kawaii look, that big kind of anime-ish look. Got to let this glue dry a second. So I've got my lashes on. I'm starting to feel much more kawaii, and there are really lots of different degrees of this look that you see on the streets of Tokyo that you can do. Everything from the kind of really kind of almost natural looking version. Lots of the journalists, actually the beauty journalists that I met last week, and lots of the girls that I met when I was there for Longcom's 80th birthday party, they had just the very fine brown false eyelashes on during the day, so it gave them a much softer, sort of sweeter look, but right through to those kind of more ganguro kind of girls that have not just the big lashes on the top, but they also have them on the bottom as well. often just at the outer corner. There are loads of different amazing lower false lashes you can buy, and they combine that with a sort of white pencil on the waterline, so you get real, you know, so many different variations of this kind of big-eyed look. So on to, because I haven't been able to show you actually all the false lashes, I think I'll do a blog post next week. So check out my blog next week and I'll take pictures of all the different false lashes that I bought, so you can see the difference between the really kind of subtle, beautiful ones, the very delicate ones, right through to the more kind of dramatic versions. So on to brow pencils, and brows aren't really heavily emphasized in Japan. Japanese girls naturally have quite thin brows. They can often be quite sparse, quite fine, so they demand really good products. And as you know, I often use the Suki ones, but you can equally find fantastic brow products in the drugstore that again are reasonably priced and are amazing. One such pencil that I like is this one by Automatic Beauty, and again, really cute box, lots of pink bows, and just the colours are really, really good. You get this really all across all the brands in Japan. Very, very good coloured eyebrow products. So I'm just going to slightly fill in, but really it's about having that kind of, there is more of a trend at the moment for a thicker brow, but in general it's kind of a straightish and fairly natural looking brow. So on to blush, and I really noticed that blusher, I think, has become more popular with the kind of average woman since in the last 10 years anyway. That's what I found just looking around, and there are just loads of great blush products. One that was very popular and sold a lot last year was this one by, I think I've got the name right, Vizzy or Vizay, and they do really lovely cream blush that is good for lips and cheeks. Very, very creamy, very, very pretty. It's lovely actually on the lips. I'll just show you how delicate and kind of nice this is. And the packaging again is very, very kawaii, very sort of Anna Sui actually. A palette that I found this time, which I love, is this one by PRM, and this was only £3.50, and you have really nice blush colours through to highlighters, and there's very, very natural contour shade. Now, contouring is not a big thing in Asia. It's not like in America where everything is contoured. However, you do find some really natural looking, very reasonably priced, cheap contour powders. Another one, I mean, that palette I thought was amazing for the price. Another one I thought was really good was Candy Doll, that was another drugstore powder, and I just thought the colours were really fantastic shades that I think in Europe for that, with those great colours and great textures of contour, you tend to pay a bit extra, so I thought they were really, really good. I'm going to use this palette today because, as I say, I was kind of super impressed with the price. Lots of the blushes are kind of more pinky and apricot-y and quite sort of pastel-y looking, quite light. And there's a kind of emphasis really on the placement, and the placement tends to be more kind of apple of the cheeks and a little bit higher up. Cute and girly. It's all about that looking sort of sweet, like a fresh flower. That's the kind of vibe. I mean, there's lots of women, obviously older women, business women, that don't wear blush at all. It's not really a big thing, but when it's worn by the kind of younger girls, it's very much got that kind of sweet look to it. And then I'm going to use the highlighter from the same palette just to kind of highlight a little bit onto the top of the blush. And the contour here is just so natural. You can hardly see it really, but in daylight you could just see it enough, and it's not really, as I say, it's not really you don't see a lot of contouring, and particularly not heavy contouring in Japan. So on to lips, and the traditional kind of lip that goes with this Gaigaru look is more sort of a pale lip. It's not really, you don't really see it with reds or bright colours. It's not like, I saw a couple of girls actually this time with a sort of a Korean bright lip colour, but in general you see lots of light pinks and kind of slightly shimmery apricot-y colours and quite nudie colours, through to extreme kind of like whites and things. Yeah, it was interesting actually. When I used to be at Shiseido, I remember years and years ago kind of talking about red lipstick and saying, oh, we'll do a nice glamorous red lip. And the Japanese women that I was working with saying, oh, red's not Japanese, it's not glamorous, it's very traditional. It's considered, you'd only wear a red lip with a kimono for a very formal occasion. It's just so interesting the way colour varies from country to country, culture to culture, and how there's kind of lots of, that's all in my book, by the way. Shameless book plug there. Anyway, I did find it interesting that perceptions of colour are very different, and that certainly applies in Japan. Lots of the drugstore lipsticks are quite blingy, quite kind of this type of packaging, lots of kind of like Diamante and that sort of thing, quite jazzy, and the texture is so lovely. Japanese lip technology for products is just gorgeous, all like balmy and emulsiony and smooth, lovely textures. So I'm going to use this one today. I don't know how to pronounce this brand actually. Aube, I'm not sure. And I'm going to use quite a light shade. And this is just the sort of shade that you see a lot of, the kind of quite pinkish shade. And everything, as well as having sort of quite blingy packaging, quite glittery packaging, you get things like free gifts with your lipstick, like that one. It came in a little packet with a bow on, of course, and inside there was this little heart-shaped mirror that you can put like a little phone trinket that has a mirror on one side and a heart on the other, and that just came free with the lipstick. So very cute, very kawaii. Even when I used to work at Shiseido, I'd work with like women in their 40s and 50s, and they'd have like Hello Kitty things all over their phones. I always thought that was really sweet. So that's it, my Japanese inspired makeup look. And it's a kind of garayu look, which the literal translation is gal or girl. So, and it's a very umbrella term that, so there's lots of different looks within that term, but this is just one of them. And it's all about cute, kawaii, girly, fresh flower, sweet, pink cheeks, very sort of soft makeup, big eyes, big wide eyes, and quite a natural lip. So I hope you like it. And don't forget, if you're not already signed up, do sign up to my mailing list and let me know what you think of my book cover when you get the letter on Sunday. Because as you can see, I'm trying to like put it to the back of my mind, but it keeps rushing forward, and I keep almost breaking out in a sweat because I'm so nervous about it. So please do let me know what you think of the cover, and I would value all of your feedback, and I will see you soon.